Hello and welcome to Kate's Paper Creations. This is my weekly blast from the past video where I take a discontinued or carried over stamp set and give it some new life with products from the new catalog. Today I am using the stamp set called Crafting Forever. It came out last year and was discontinued in the same year. So there it is. It's got some really cute little things that you would see in a craft room, and it's got some cute sayings. So let me show you what I'm going to do. It is October here, just beginning, and well, actually it's still September, I guess, but it's getting to be late in the year. And I've been thinking calendars because I try to make calendars for my customers and my friends, and I sell some as well. So I used this stamp set to make two different calendars. And my mini calendars have not arrived yet, but I needed to get this video up, so I just kind of made do. So you'll just have to bear with me. I made two different ones, this one, and then just kind of gives you an idea of where the calendar would sit when it comes. And then this one, which would be the same thing. I just used temporary tape there to kind of give you some idea of where the calendar would sit. And so let me show you how I made this one, and then I'll tell you a little bit more. So I started with a piece of navy, Night of Navy. It's cut just like a standard greeting card, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and folded. So that's going to make this part, the tent part. Then I cut a second piece, 3 by 5.5, and I scored it at 1/2 inch, 1.5 inch, and 2.5 inches. So it leaves two 1/2 inch tabs on each side. And it's just going to all fold in the same direction. So it'll end up looking kind of like that. Okay. Then I'm using liquid glue to put these together because I have done many years of three-dimensional paper crafting. And I have found that there isn't a tape that exists that will hold and stay holding. It eventually will pull apart. So I have just always used glue whenever I'm making anything with that's three-dimensional. So just going to put some glue on each of the tabs. You want to get it kind of close to that edge so that it sits kind of nice when you attach it. And then we're just going to, and I'm hoping you can see this, blue on blue is kind of hard to see, but just gonna line up the edges. And that's one thing nice about glue also, is that it gives you a little while to make sure you've got it even lined up nice and even so that it looks neat. And then we're just going to bring it around and do the same thing with the other side. Now the reason I'm adding this is because it will make the whole calendar more stable and it will stand up better on a desk, because that's what this is for, is a desk side calendar. So there is the base piece, and then you can fold it down and it's standard card size, so it can be mailed. It might be thicker, so you might have to add some extra postage, but it will fit in a regular envelope. And so there is the base. Then for this particular card, and you could use any color combination whatsoever. This is just what I happened to use the first time around. This is Seaside Spray. It is cut 4 by 5 1/4, so that it will, when it's attached to the front, it will leave an 1/8 inch border all the way around, so that you get that nice little accent like that. Okay. Then I also need from Navy, which I forgot to cut, so I'm going to do that right quick, is the mat for the calendar. And that needs to be, I wrote it down, get my paper here so I can remember, 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. So let's see, this will be, yeah, let's do it this way. 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, because the calendar is 3 by 2, and so that will give it a little bit of a border too, as I showed you in the sample. So there's that piece, and that I am going to put on with the Stampin' Seal Plus, because this is going to be where you mount the calendar. And it's one of those little 2x3 mini tear-off calendars. I order them through Tailored Expressions, and I'll put the link to that in my description below, so you'll know where to get them. You get like, I think it's 10 of them. With shipping, it's like $9. So they come out to about $1 a piece. And if you happen to be ordering other things, you could order enough to get free shipping. But anyway, I'm attaching it with the Stampin' Seal because the Stampin' Seal is a much stronger adhesive, and you'll need that in order for the calendar to stay attached. You don't want it to fall off when your friends are using it, fall off on the desk. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach it right there, like that. Then I used the jar punch, which has been carried over because there's a new stamp set in the new catalog that still utilizes it. And so we still have that. And I used it to cut out a piece, a jar-shaped piece, out of Flowers for Every Season 6x6 Designer Series paper. So I cut that out, and then I put just a little bit of adhesive on the back side, just at the top, and I used this Flowers for Every Season white, blue, or blue and silver thread that's in the, it's a thread combo for Flowers for Every Season. It's in the main catalog. And I just wrapped a couple of rounds of that around like that, just to kind of create the look like there was threads on the jar. And we'll trim that off, and that just holds in place, so it looks like that. And then I made a bow out of the same thread, and I'm going to attach it with a glue dot, just like this. Just put that in there like that. That's so cute. Now, I also stamped the stamp from the Crafting Forever stamp set. Let me get it up here. This is the paintbrushes that were in the flower pot. And I just stamped it with Memento black ink. And I'm not going to give you every color I used because I just randomly chose markers from my marker sets and colored them all different colors. And then I fussy cut that out. And I wasn't worried about the bottom here because this is going to get tucked behind on the jar like this. So it looks like they're standing up in the jar. So that's what I did with that. And there's already a little bit back here. So we're just going to attach that right back here to that sticky that I've already got there. And I didn't like that shape. There we go. That looks better. So there's that piece ready to attach to the front of the calendar. And then I put dimensionals and mini dimensionals on the back of this. And I popped it up pretty good. I put, because it is just paper, it's pretty flimsy, I guess would be the word. And so I wanted it to be very sturdy. So I got a little carried away with these dimensionals. So, and I'm going to put one clear up in here, and then I'm going to put some minis up in here on this part here. And I didn't do all of the brush tips, but I did do the ones, I only need one. I did do the ones where a mini would fit and be hidden. So we'll get all the tops off of those, and do that. Like that. And then I am going to just put this on here next to where the calendar would be, like that. Then I took the Stitched So Sweetly dies, and I used this shape, and I cut that out. And I am going to stamp the sentiment from the stamp set that says, "Do something creative every day." What a nice remember to have that on your desk calendar. I don't know about you, I don't feel creative every single day. It kind of comes in spurts for me, but you know, that's a good thing. Do something creative every day. And I'm hoping I can get that centered on there well. Yes, looks good. So there's that. And I also attached this with dimensionals. And of course, it probably doesn't need as many because this is cardstock, so it's a little bit sturdier. So I'm just going to put 2 of them on there. And it's just going to reside right above the calendar here, like this. And let me bring in my little fake calendar so you can kind of see how it's going to look once I get that calendar and can attach it. And I will attach that calendar with the Stampin' Seal Plus as well. It has a cardboard backing, and then the pages just tear off month by month. So this will work really well on that cardboard backing. And that's what the card will look like. I also added some metallic pearls. And I did the silvery ones. And I put one on each end of the, if I can get them off here, here we go. On each end, so it kind of looks like it had little rivets holding the sign up on each end of that. And there is that desk calendar. Stands up there beautifully. Okay. Then for this one, the only thing I did different on this one was I did a different jar and I did the pins. So I stamped the pins with the Memento Black, and then I used various markers and colored them all different colors. I'm trying to get a hold of a set of them. I fussy cut them out. And so you have the 3 pens like that. And I wanted them to be look like they were sitting in a jar. And the full-size jar is too tall. It didn't work for me. I wanted the shorter jar, but I also wanted this edge, this lid part. So what I did is I stamped with Seaside Spray, stamped it off once so I could get a nice light color. And then I took another one that I cut out, and I kept this little piece, and I put it on the back here like this. And I traced it with my pencil. Like that, and then I'm going to just cut that off. And so it still has that same cute little rounded shape at the bottom. It doesn't get just square and flat, so it keeps that jar shape. Like that. And that created my short jar. And then I took the string and wrapped it around the top. And let's do that so you can see it. Get some adhesive on there. And again, just wrapped it around a couple of 3 times. I didn't put a bow on this one. We will trim that off and tuck the end behind and stick it down. And then I took these and I used my Zig 2-way glue pen, and only the bottom part of each of the pins from about halfway down needs glue, because the other half sticks up above the edge of the jar. And I just tucked them behind that and stuck them down like that, because I wanted them to be touching the bottom of the jar. Pins couldn't float if you put them in there, right? They have to be all the way down to the bottom of the jar. So that's what I did. And I'll get this last one in here so you can kind of see it. You can, you know, position them however you want. But that's how I did that jar. And then, of course, it attached with dimensionals as well for making this card. So that's what I've been doing with this week's Blast from the Past. I hope you enjoyed the video. As usual, this gently used stamp set is available for free to someone who subscribes to my blog and or YouTube channel. And what I do is I'll take the names of those, leave me a comment saying I'm subscribing because I want that stamp set, and I will take the names of those who have subscribed for the first time and put them in a random generator, and someone will get this sent to them for free. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed today's video.